You know, I go to Poland. What is it, 99% white? I don't need any security. The streets are incredibly clean. Crime is almost non-existent. Nobody gets called a racist. There's no talk of white privilege. No identity politics. No endless diversity nagging. You know, I've spoken against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist. I'm an empiricist. I went to the country. I saw how it was like. We could put something out on social media to have a social gathering, and we actually had the social gathering without bomb threats, without violence, without attacks, without things coming through the window. I've spoken out against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist. I'm listening. I'm listening to my experiences. Can't argue with the facts. Can't argue with the reality. I mean, you can, but...
Yeah, so that was quite odd. That's such a weird fantasy to have, this sort of white ethnostate fantasy of which all you see around you are just a bunch of white people. Now, there's this issue, and there's this point that I've been trying to articulate, and I don't know if I've done it correctly or not, but I've tried doing this for the longest time, is trying to explain that I guess in a vacuum in which there are no other races, if you by default had an ethnostate because there literally were no other ethnicities in that area or even to exist, period, yeah, that's not racism, I guess, because, I mean, there's just no way to have that dawn on you because there are no other ethnicities, period, but... The thing is because here's the thing. So there are people like Lauren Southern. Remember, Lauren Southern got directly debunked by Richard Spencer. I did a video on that where she literally got verbatim debunked by him. You can go check out that video I made. But she attempted to give him leeway in saying that, oh, he's not a white supremacist. He's rather a white nationalist. Now, they're trying to make this distinction because obviously it's a sort of like alt-light type thing. But that's if you're in the United States and you're advocating for a white ethnostate, you're a white supremacist. Because if you're in a society with a bunch of other ethnicities and you want to switch and pivot to only white people, there's by definition you're a white supremacist. Because why would you want a white ethnostate if you don't think those people are better? It doesn't make sense. So if you are advocating for a white ethnostate, in any society, by the way, with any sort of other demographics, yeah, you're a white supremacist. You're not just a white nationalist. You're both technically, but you're definitely a white supremacist. So I don't know if I've been articulate enough in explaining that point, but if you're in a society where there's other races around you and you say, I only want white people here, that's white supremacy. And I like how they tried making the separate but equal argument, the bullshit that was already, that's like the 1960s call, dude. Like they want their argumentations back. They're talking about, you know, oh, it's basically just what they want is global segregation, which is hilarious. Again, that's just the separate but equal nonsense. Here's something else to note about Stefan Molyneux. The guy's a big time sellout. I've also made videos on that because if you compare this Stefan Molyneux to the old Stefan Molyneux defended Muslims, like heavily defended them after 9/11. So contrast that with the current Stefan Molyneux. By the way, I like how he just totally betrayed his libertarian principles and now claims to be an empiricist. It's like when Lauren Southern, I think did she claim she was a libertarian? I thought she did. And she's someone who doesn't believe in the basic principles of libertarianism. One of the main ones being the free movement of labor. That's like that's like core libertarianism, and she doesn't even actually believe in that because she's white supremacist. So it's it's hilarious. These libertarians, after the Trump train happened, they jumped on it and they just totally betrayed any libertarian principles that they had, even in the slightest. And that's what Stefan Molyneux actually used to be, a legitimate libertarian. He expressed his positions on immigration as having empathy for those people. He defended Muslims. You can go back and watch it. You can watch my videos I did on it. I've done comparison videos on it. This guy has completely betrayed all of his libertarian principles, so-called principles. I think he has a really dark past in a lot of different ways. Like, I think the guy was consumed by greed and just totally like demolished his ethics before even jumping into radio. but he's just a crazy guy altogether, and he's really creepy. Like, this guy, he just looks so, like, oh my god, like, I don't know what the right word is, just crazy. It's almost like someone who's just insane. And he's obviously exaggerating about what he saw in Poland, but this guy he's insane. I like how he's trying to, like, tiptoe the line on it. Like, come on, dude, are you kidding me? White ethnostate, that's hilarious, dude.